Former undefeated editor at ESPN, Kevin Merida, I believe is how you pronounce that, wrote in the Wall Street Journal last week saying Bill Russell should be the GOAT because of, quote, degree of difficulty, winning 11 championships while facing death threats in Boston. So my question to you guys is, should off-court adversity factor into these debates? Should we be looking just beyond stats?
I
Your thoughts.
mean,
Perk, we'll start with you.
here's my thing. I would never take what the guys, Bill Russells, and what they had to go through for us to be able to perform at a high level, alley, or even be in the NBA, right? For the NBA to even exist. I wasn't there. But I will say everyone's had their own form of adversity. Back then, it was racism and death threats, right? But having to battle through the adversity of fucking social media as a player elevates right up into there when you talk about mental toughness. Nah, Richard, hear me out. Hear me out. I get it. Like people lives were on the line, but like mental health is a real thing. And like we see so many guys logging off of social media, right? John Wall like talked about like how he wanted to commit suicide. Like it's a real thing. So everybody's affected in a different way. I'm not trying to put the two together. All I'm saying is this day and age, a lot of these guys are dealing with their own form of adversity, right? And people could say, "Oh, they just soft or stay off of social media." Know how fucking hard it is to stay off of social media.
Not
Us,
that hard.
I want to. No, you go, motherfucker. You go glance at social media at least one time a day. RJ.
I'm not disputing that. I'm
There
not.
was
I'm not.
a tsunami that still is on its way. That's not funny at all. And the first thing we do is what? Pick up our social media. Where's it
Yeah.
at? What's going on? What's the latest? Keep us informed. You're
Cause
right.
Okay.
no
No, no,
one
no.
is watching. No one is watching television no more.
This is what I would say. I don't believe in goat debates. I don't believe in them. I think that they
Why?
are. I just because I think that, like Perk said, every group had their own level of adversity, right? Everybody had their own level of this. So I don't want to get into, well, we got to add this into the equation when we're talking about our goats. Like Bill Russell's jersey is retired in the league. What are we talking about? His jersey is retired, right? And so when you look at that, that right there is your legacy if you're Bill Russell. I I do struggle a little bit, Perk, and I'll push it back. Sundown towns, not being able to stay in certain hotels, not being able to go in certain restaurants with your teammates, having to travel and do these other things. I won't compare that struggle of people that watched or
Oh,
walked
I
with
wasn't
Mark.
trying to
No, no,
compare.
no. That's what I'm just
Okay.
saying. No, I'm just saying. I believe that yes, what the person was saying, what that person from the Wall Street Journal was saying is that it's very similar to what Jackie Robinson had to deal with, right? And Jackie Robinson was the first, and he was the person that had to deal with these things, and he should be celebrated because if not for his contributions and tolerance and patience, like it could have pushed certain situations back. So I'll say this: there is no GOAT debate with Bill Russell. He is the GOAT, and there are other GOATs. He is. And that's the thing about basketball and its complexity is like you talk about as Babe Ruth, the greatest baseball player of all time, but he didn't have to play. It was still a segregated league. So he didn't have to play against pitchers and African Americans. And the reason why they started the Negro Leagues is because they weren't allowed to play. So you have Babe Ruth hitting all of these home runs, and that's not to diminish his greatness, but was he playing against the best players in the world? The facts say no. It is factual that Babe Ruth was not playing against, even if you're just excluding 8% of the best players in the world, 10%, 5%. If you are excluding those players, you are just factually not playing against the best players in the world. So Bill Russell is a GOAT. NBA is one of the rare sports where we have multiple GOATs over multiple generations with multiple levels of importance to the game of basketball and its survival, whether it's Bill Russell, Dr. J in the conversion of the ABA and the NBA, Magic and Larry, Michael, Shaq and Kobe. Then you go LeBron and Steph and KD. We've always had these players that have dominated their era at a level that we've never seen, and they'll never play against each other. And yes, Bob Cousy couldn't dribble with his left hand, but at the time of the invention of the game of basketball and the growth, he was the baddest motherfucking point guard out there. So we can look at, look at Bob Cousy compared to Kyrie. And you're like, no, that's not how it works. Bob Cousy dominated every point guard out there and won 9 championships. He was the baddest man on the planet at the time. And over the last 60 years, the game has evolved where now you have Kyries and players like that. So it's like, make no mistake, if you were the most dominant of your era, and it's not saying that you were the most physically talented or skilled basketball player of all time, you know, that's my long-winded answer.
Allie, I end on this.
Yep.
It's your preference when it comes down to the GOAT debate, right? Some people like to drink Henny. Some people like to drink Ciroc. Some people like to drink tequila. And if you're Channing, if you're Allie and Richard, some people like to drink wine. But at the end of the day, they all get you drunk.